Oh, you the voice?
Nah, not me.
So if you're not the voice, who is?
The people, man. The people's the voice.
So what does that make you?
That makes me the middleman. I'm the middleman. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Middleman Podcast. I am the man in the middle, Kevin Martinez, and today I'm joined by my good friend, Fame.
Yes, sir. I am here, and I thank you for having me.
Of course, man. I love that hat, Euphoria.
Oh, thank you.
You know, representing your brand, Euphoria is a brand. I see that. I heard that in a song as well, you know.
Yes.
And it's just great to have you here, man. So let's just start off with your name, Fame.
So my artist name is The Fame, one word. It's pretty much like a play like The Weeknd, you know.
Okay.
And where I got that name from was actually from one of my friends that I grew up with in West Orange, New Jersey. He passed away, unfortunately, from suicide. So I was always working on music with him and drawing and just like a lot of like artistic stuff. And he said before the last time that I saw him, he told me that whatever you do, it will be like you'll become famous. So I always wanted to like put that name with something with him. But I'm also like a walking contradiction because I don't want to be famous. I'd rather be behind the scenes doing anything, just being successful doing my music or anything artistic. So I was just like, fuck it, like why not call myself The Fame?
Yeah,
and it's stuck for like it's been like 7 years now. So people like it and I like it. So yeah.
I like it, especially because we just got the meaning behind it. Yeah. You know, I'm sorry that happened.
Thank you.
But yeah, I am Fame. You have like, I noticed in your Instagram that you have, I don't know, is it Chinese letters, Japanese lettering?
Oh, Japanese, yeah.
Japanese lettering. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, this guy's like pretty deep. You know, he's all over the place. Like from what, so as a matter of fact, I met you through Nezo, okay, our wonderful engineer, Nezo.
Shout out to Nezo, for
the
real.
GOAT forever, you know?
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, I asked him, I said, you know Fame personally. Mm-hmm. I was like, could you give me the inside scoop?
Yeah.
Could you let me know a little bit about home? You know, so I'm gonna just tell you what he said about you. Okay.
Okay.
He said that you are a complete artist. You are self-aware and well aware of who you are. You are very spiritual. You know, and that's like what I really took away from that is like, oh, and you're one fantastic producer as well.
This man.
One thing I took away from that is like you really are spiritual. You know, I could tell that that's within you.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, yo, this guy is like talented. He's complete, you know? So that's just something that I wrote down in my notes that I would like care to agree that it's just like, and you're brilliant, bro. You really are. Brilliant with like the freaking music and trying to captivate people's ears with just sound, not even sometimes the lyrics, just the sound. Mm-hmm. You know, like there's so much that we're going to dive into.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't wait.
So here we go. Like, all right. Another thing I want to say before we get into it, all right? Like when I was listening to your music, okay, I could feel I can feel inner emotion for myself, but it's because I felt like what you were projecting in your lyrics as well as sound. I felt what you were experiencing in that time, and I was like, yo, this is like really, really cool.
Thank you.
You know?
That's deep actually, because a lot of people haven't said that.
No, because there are some. We're gonna talk about. I picked like 3 songs out of each like album, and it's just like I kind of dissected them, and I was like, "Yo, these are great tracks," you know. And I could feel the emotion and the passion that goes into it, which is great because you don't see that out of all the artists.
Yeah. That's why I try to be different. You know, I always go through a lot of things when I'm working on a project. Usually a project will stem from me going to like through an emotional whirlwind. Honestly, you know, so yeah.
That's a good way to put it, an emotional whirlwind.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so let's talk about your projects here. We got Forever Part 1, Euphoria, Diamond Life as well as Summer at Midnight. Okay. Summer at Midnight, I really didn't get through that one because I was so focused on the other 3. You know, if you want to talk about that, we definitely can, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that, yo, I listened to the album and I know everything about it. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you. So I want to start off with the Diamond Life. Okay, the Diamond Life. You know, that album, you released that album in 2017.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
In 2017, and like there was one song that I really enjoyed. One of my favorite songs on that album was Family Proud.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You want to talk to me about that song?
Definitely. Oh, man. I appreciate you actually bringing that song up. That was like probably still to date my most emotional and powerful song I've ever done, you know? Because So when I was making it, I was going through a lot. Like I was unemployed. My girl, like my ex-girl, we were going through a lot of things. And me and my family were actually going through a lot. Like that was where I was starting my spiritual awakening, I guess you would say. And I felt a lot of distance between everyone around me. So I just wanted to make a message while doing that project to my mother and my father, but also saying certain things in that song towards like my ex or towards like people around me and stuff. So like my friends and you know what I mean?
Acquaintances who
that
took advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Like that took advantage of me, or I mean, I don't want to say like people take advantage of me. I'm just like one of those people that just try to do everything for anyone, you know, but I guess if you say it like that, yeah.
Would you say that you have a lot of faith in humanity?
Damn, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And
that's off the top of the dome, by the way.
Yeah, that was good, bro. Yeah. Shit. Unfortunately, I don't right now.
Okay.
Like, I love humanity, obviously. You know, I love, like you said, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. But I'm not, like, straight, like, Christian. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because I've learned a lot of things throughout the last 2 years that, like, religion really isn't what we think it is. Like, every religion, in my opinion, is something that was just man-made. And what it was based off of is gone. Like, the real feeling of it, the real practice, the real teachings, it's gone. It's all gone. We're living in, like, Babylon now. You know what I mean? So what I try to... I just always try to like incorporate just my personal spirituality is like, I love God. God is real. You know what I mean? I see the evil in the world. So if the evil is here, there's always good. And yeah. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it did answer my question. And the reason I ask you that is because I feel like I may be the same way as you are when it comes to meeting people. You know, like you said, you would just like, you would do stuff for a lot of people. I would drop the ball for people and like go do what they need me to do and take care of them and then get back to what I'm doing, right? So
True.
I would say that I do have too much faith in humanity myself because I'm too willing to drop what I'm doing to go help someone else and hope that in return, you know, when I need them to be there, that they would do the same for me. But for some reason...
Which is
it doesn't feel that way lately. You know, things are... And that's just the truth of it. I had someone ask me, hey, do you have how many best friends do you have? And I was like, the best friends are a weird thing.
Yeah, it really is. You know, I got people that I grew up with, and that's what I say is my best friends, but that's like two people.
Exactly. Likewise, two people.
Like, I consider people that I can trust and, you know, that I've known throughout. Like, if I've known you for more than 5 years... and I could trust you. I've seen your family, and I could have conversations with your family on a like, hey, like, walk into the house, get a fucking water bottle or some food out of the fridge without even saying anything. Yeah. Then I know that, okay, I consider them family, not a friend. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's more important because a lot of people just, they say these are my friends, and like, they're more acquaintances. You know what I mean? Like, you got to really understand on a spiritual note that our energies always connect to certain people. So you got to realize, like, who you connect with and who you don't. You know what I mean?
Synergy.
Yeah, synergy, pretty much.
Shout out to Z Visions. He taught me that word.
Oh, shit. I don't know Z Visions, but shout out to Z Visions.
No, man, that's what I like how you're speaking that, you know, as far as, like, religion and that, you know, it's a little bit tainted in each religion no matter what you look at, you know. But I'm not going to dive too much into that. I just want to say that... you know, with Family Proud, I really agreed with you that it was like, I like the concept of it to speaking to your parents, you know, and I could tell that, you know, what you were talking about was real. Yeah. You know, and that's what I love about artists is like you as well as Kafar Myers, who I've met, you know, other artists. When they tell true stories in their music, I appreciate the hell out of that much more. So Family Proud was great. And then my other favorite song was Dark Liquor and Forever, the interlude. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. So my question about that song, was that you singing?
No, but I wrote it.
Okay.
I wrote the song for my brothers in Germany. So they helped me pretty much co-produce that whole album.
I'm sorry, your brothers in Germany?
Yeah, like not my like.
Oh, you got homies
biological.
Out there.
Yeah, but I got homies over there. Yeah,
that's awesome. How'd you? Okay.
Yeah, that was Paris, the guy that was singing. His name is Paris, and the dude that produced his name is Cyrese. So they live in I forgot what part of Germany or something, but they live in Germany, and they were like, "Yo, like, how about we make an interlude for you for the project?" And I was like, "Okay," and Cyrus like sent me the instrumental, and I was like, "Okay, well, I have like some lyrics already written down for this. How about we get like Paris to sing it?" And the way that he executed it was just nuts. Like I could sing, but then this man can sang. So like he can sang, you know what I mean? So I was just like, when he sent me the first draft, I was just like, bro, that draft is perfect. Like it needs to be like a little more mastered and mixed, but bro.
Yeah.
And it was so real because it talks about how, like, I don't think it was just a man's perspective. It was like a human's perspective on, we take stuff like this, or, you know, smoking or whatever, as a just a cloud. You know what I mean? A cloud to cover the surface of our emotions. You know what I mean? Like it's like we're in the shadows taking all this liquor and like just narcotics and all this shit to fuel our pain more. But it's like, we know that we're feeling pain. Why are we fueling it more? Let's release it. And that's why I felt that song was him talking about, like, him trying to mask his pain with that shit, but also releasing it at the same time. It was like a double-edged sword. And I was just like, I got to put this shit on Diamond Life. Like, it was perfect, you know, in my opinion. Yeah.
It was a beautiful song. What I have written here, man, is I did really enjoy it. It was a different sound.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I had to ask if it was you, because I'm like, whoa, this guy got range, you know? You know, I heard a different sound, and like one thing that caught my eye, right, was that it was like in 2017, but you kept one ideology consistent throughout 2017 to your next project in 2021, was that the other half of this song was / forever, right?
Yep.
So
yeah.
I was like, you titled that track Forever, newest project release. I'm reading this word for word because like some of the things you do in here, I was like mind blown. I was like, that's crazy.
Thank you.
All right, so you titled that track Forever, newest project release. You know, Forever is consistent. Then at the end of the interlude, you proceeded to say Euphoria. Mm-hmm. So 4 years later, right, you release a project called Euphoria, which to me is like, was this planned or like, like when you released that track, Dark Liquor and Forever, Euphoria was already in your head.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like
4 years later.
4 years.
Or 4 years prior, before.
Yeah. 4 years prior, I definitely had the idea for Euphoria. Like I've been always working on music and stuff. I just didn't know what the sound wanted, like what I wanted the sound to be concrete. So I just met. I mean, I know we're gonna talk about Euphoria.
No, we're talking about next. Well, you can roll into it. That's fine.
So,
there's a question I have in between, though.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let me ask the question in between, and then we'll roll into Euphoria. I think it's really, really cool that it was planned, right?
Yeah.
My question in between is, where did you go in between of Diamond Life and Euphoria?
Oh, man. So, like I said, I had a emotional whirlwind. You know what I mean? Like, I was going through a lot with, like, trying to find myself. Was working a job. You know, I got a new job like right after I finished the project. Mm-hmm. So I worked there for like 2 years. It was just like, you know, a quality assurance technician job in a lab and shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what's going on with me? You know, like I'm still working obviously, but now I have like a different perspective on it. Before I was just kind of like lost. I was just working. It was just like, okay, yeah, like making money, going out, have fun, like taking my girl to places and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And work on music like as a background thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was just going through a lot. And I took that 4-year break to see who I was, you know, how my mind could develop, how my music could develop, who I was as a man, and the people that I surrounded myself with, who they were too. Because I wanted to make sure that with the idea that I had in my head for the next 10 years, I wanted to make sure that people that I surrounded myself with understood my goals and I understood theirs very fluently. And we were on the same page all the time. You know what I mean? I'm still understanding who people are that I surround myself with. So, you know, it's always an ever-changing
endeavor of life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So, like, I wanted to ask that because, like, also Nezo mentioned you had, like, a spiritual awakening. You know, he was, like, he's very self-aware of himself, you know? So then that made me think about just life and quotes that I've heard, right? So I thought about, you know, a man has two lives. Have you ever heard that quote?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, a man has two lives, right? The first life is when we're just going willy-nilly. How you just said, you know, maybe partying, getting our money, going out with our girlfriends, paying for it, like just living life at a high speed, right?
Yeah, yep.
You know, and then you're looking at the guy in the mirror and you're like, damn, I'm not content with that man. So then you start to like self-regulate and look within yourself, and then you got to be like, okay, like what do I really want to do? And that's when the man's second life, and I say man, women, whoever, you know, when you start your second life, you know, it's like you grow out of a phase of we're just being here and, you know, living to live to going to like, okay, what can I do while I'm here?
Yeah, like what can I do to live to be alive?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's I feel
how
like
will my legacy remain on this planet? You know, like you start to think about the bigger picture, you know, that you start to realize that you know, I only have a few years. And well, I'd say a few, but that is a few if you really look at the age of the age of the planet, the age of Earth, you know. So yeah, I wanted to mention that, you know, and then like, you know, I wanted to say that, you know, I feel like you are so sure of yourself, and it brought me back to a podcast that I had with Dairy World with Milk. I don't know if you know him. He's out in the Strasburg area. He's a clothing designer.
Oh no, that's cool though. I'll check it out. Yeah,
but I did a Middleman Monday with him, right? And I actually quoted this Middleman Monday, right? And it's kind of crazy because he's like, you know, we are so, here I have a word for word. So we are so lucky to be passionate and be so sure of what we want to do in our lives. Like, to be lucky to be so sure of yourself is such a big thing, because there's so many people out there who are lost and don't know what their next step is.
Yeah.
You know, so would you agree that, you know, we're lucky to be confident within ourselves? Yeah,
we are. We're blessed, really. You know, like I would say to know who we are, it's always something that we can never portray to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, that's the truth about knowing who you are, truly. Because no one will understand who you truly are except you. And when you try to portray that, there's always going to be different opinions and perspectives on, well, how you should do it like this, or, well, I mean, I understand your perspective, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, just knowing who you are, you start listening more. You know when to be the smartest man in the room by shutting the fuck up. You know what I mean? And also being the dumbest person in the room by shutting the fuck up too. Because when you don't speak and people are always speaking around you, they don't know who the fuck you are. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like is truly knowing yourself, is just always being with yourself. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
but
yeah. Within yourself is that you just know yourself. You know that you're, and you know what's funny is, like, sometimes it could be perceived as it's like really cocky and confident, and some people might be scared away by that. And it's like, if that's the case, and that's fine. You know, it's like, I think it is 110% with us being so full of ourselves within the field and what we're trying to achieve in this lifetime that we have.
Very true.
You know, like, why can't I sit here and say I'm the best fucking podcaster in Scranton? I can say that because I am the best podcaster in Scranton.
There you go. So, and I believe that too. Because
no
you come with that confidence. Yeah, there's never a problem with you being as confident as you possibly can about what you do. And especially if you love doing what you do, like, there's so many opportunities to grow too. Like, you really could say this from like now, and in 10 years from now, you'll actually be that with credentials. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all about what you believe. You got to believe in yourself, be confident, but also be humble. Because when you're confident and you just try to be arrogant and shit with that, that's when people think like you're being cocky. But when you're just humble about it and know what you're saying, every word that you say, you understand what you're saying, that shows your humility. You know what I mean?
Yep. Word. Okay. I respect that. I respect that completely. Yeah. I want to talk about this proverb that you have on your Instagram. You know, I had to look it up. Proverb 18:16.
Yes.
Okay. I looked it up word for word. Here we go. This is what it says. A man's gift makes room for him. What you were designed to be known for is your gift. This is like the analogy. This is what how someone broke it down. So the quote is, "A man's gift makes room for him. What you were designed to be known for is your gift. God has put a gift or talent in every person that the world will make room for." You know, and I was like, wow, that's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Where'd you hear that, and why do you carry that so deep to pin it onto your bio?
Well, I grew up in a Christian household, so my dad, when I was like 15, he told me one day, just slapped the freaking Bible on my bed and was like, "Yo, read Proverbs." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Because to be a true man, even if you don't believe in this religion, it shows you something." You know, like all of the book of Proverbs just has messages for men, you know, to learn like who we are as a man and also humanity too. So when I read Proverbs years ago and I went back to it a few years ago, that one always stuck with me because I knew that God gifted me with something. I just didn't know how to really portray it to everyone else. Like I always worked by myself and made music by myself. And when I worked on Euphoria, that was the first project ever in my life that I worked with multiple people on, you know, and it was great. And it was like, wow, okay, so this proverb literally is what I'm doing now. Like it's portraying my gift to people, and it was showing me that people can actually understand this shit. Not be like, oh, well, you know, the music's good, but, you know, people are actually like, when I was showing my creative process, people were like, oh, okay, like this man is like very, very intricate about everything that he's doing.
Perfectionist.
Like I said.
Like yes,
yeah, I guess.
Such a perfectionist. I can't even finish his draft. Like it's crazy. I see it, and it's good for you. It really is. You know.
Thank you.
I'm the same way with my team, and I feel like sometimes I bother them because I'll be like, "Yo, bro," I'll be like, "Yo, could we add this? Could we add?" I'm like, "I'm sorry," you know.
Yeah.
So then eventually I gotta be like, all right, like. Just when I tell you that this is the final copy and I try to go back and tell you something, just say, "No, Kev, you said it was the final copy." I'd be like, all right, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, like this shit I'm going a little too deep on right
Exactly. So yeah, let's talk about Euphoria now. Let's talk about Euphoria. This album, let's start with the album cover. I really love the album cover.
Oh, thank you.
Inspiration behind the album cover?
So shout out to my boy Dennis. He's actually he's a painter in Stroudsburg. Okay. And his father has like an art gallery next to Renegade or something like that. And I messaged him through my brother, like my sister's husband, and he was like, "Yo, this guy is dope. He would give like he would be the person, in my opinion, to get your idea out for a cover art." So I was like, okay, and I made different sketches for him and met up with him on Main Street, and I just told him like this woman that's in there, the black woman, like it's not even like portrayed as like an African American woman.
She's presented as a shadowy woman.
It's presented as a shadowy woman that, in my opinion, with like my life, I feel like I always had women kind of like fucking distract me. You know, like fuck me over, like not really fuck me over, but like just like fuck with me. You know what I mean? And I always put that before like what I really believe in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's a distraction.
Yeah, like I was one of those young people that always like wanted to try.
Let me make your legs weak, rock.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, oh shit, like you know what I mean? But the whole concept was with the woman. It was just like a shadowy figure showing the lust. Like it was just all the lust distraction in front of me, and then that the man figure in the doorway is me. And it's the doorway with the white is the light, me seeing the light for the first time and walking towards it. So like I see the woman and I'm like, I don't want that shit no more. Like I know who I am now. Like I don't need to facilitate my pain and my emotion with a woman that doesn't give a fuck about me. Yeah. I'm going to go towards the light and be a spiritual fucking being and like rule this world to the best I can, knowing who I am. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Because that's the whole point of like every human in this world wants to do something they love and rule in the shit that they want to do. You know, so I was just like, yeah, that's it. And then honestly, the colors too were.
Yeah, you had red and then you had blue. Mike, I want to see if we can overlay this album cover in just for a few minutes, so people can see what's going on here, because it is a really clever album cover. I did enjoy
Thank you.
And at first glance, I didn't notice that it was a woman. I really didn't. Then I zoomed out and I was like, oh wait, there's breasts on this woman. It's definitely a woman.
It's some titties.
Yeah, like. But I didn't notice it. I really didn't. I was fucking looking at the guy in the door.
Oh shit!
I really was. I was like, all right, did the triangle? Oh, okay, it's her legs.
It's like, I see it now.
So yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. Yeah. So the colors kind of, man. I wanted to utilize like the colors, like a different color scheme as My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy from Kanye.
Yeah.
Because his are like mainly red. It's like the main border is red, then it's blue, and then it's yellow.
Yep.
So I was like, I feel like this is my shorter version of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I'll fuck around with the colors. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much where the blue and then the red and the yellow came from.
It makes sense even with the design itself. You know, it does kind of remind me, now that you say that, of a Dark Twisted Fantasy. So if that's what you were going for, I think you got it.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the music here. One of the first ones is Tiny Tim, and I'm just curious as to who Tiny Tim is, because he speaks in the beginning, whether that's a person or if it was just a soundbite that you found.
Yeah.
What's that about?
So it was a soundbite. Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could get Tiny Tim on a damn song talking. So he's a artist that was around like in the 60s and 70s. And he was like one of those like really innovative people. Like he was always different, very different. And had a very high pitched voice and just sang like very like weird folk songs, and was very positive too. Like every song, if you go on an album, like if you go on Spotify, you can find it's like 35 tracks album, and it's like literally songs to like messages to people and kids to, wash your hands or be happy every day. You know what I mean? And I that song that I sampled actually from him was I first heard it through SpongeBob. Like it was the first episode of SpongeBob when the anchovies like come and like go crazy, and then he starts flipping the patties crazy to the anchovies when he comes back.
I'm trying to think of the melody to see if I know it.
Man.
Yo, Kev, what's that movie?
Oh, and also Tiptoe Through the Window.
Oh,
yeah.
That's him?
That's him too.
Ah.
Yeah, that's his like second biggest song.
That song's a hit.
Yeah, it's a hit. Yeah, like he's got some hits, man. It's just a lot of people don't know who he is. And yeah,
that song is weird though.
It's weird, but it's good. And I made that song Tiny Tim because as like a what's the word? A tribute.
Yeah.
A tribute to his weirdness, but realness, because he was always real with himself. Every interview that I watched of him, he was just a musician doing what he loved and what he believed in, and it was weird though. And people were like, oh my God, they would laugh at him at performances and stuff, but
it's effective.
But it was effective. And I was like, yo, I want to be like that new age trap Tiny Tim. You know what I mean? Like the black Tiny Tim.
I like it, man. I like it. And it is a good song. But I will tell you what is my favorite song on that album, bro. And I like really got to lock in. I'm like, yo, I really do fuck with this song. Man of Nowhere. Oh, dude, yeah. Man of Nowhere is a really good song. As a matter of fact, you actually have it as one of your Instagram posts. It's one of your captions, right? It's funny because of my buddy who helps me do the questions and stuff. He's like, Man of Nowhere, where's that from? And then I was like, I listened to music, and I was like, oh, Man of Nowhere, there it is. So what I want to say about that song, okay, is I really enjoy it, but it's like what I enjoy most about it is a distortion of everything going on in the background, and you have a constant loop going on where it goes, I couldn't get the last final words, but I'm hoping you get cleared up for me. He goes, I am a man of nowhere. I be alone. He said, I be alone, and then something, something, something.
Okay. So it's I be the man of nowhere. I be alone. Shit. Wow. It's pretty much just him saying like he's alone at sea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm the man of nowhere. I belong to Uncle. Oh no, I belong to Uncle C. So yeah.
Oh.
So he's like by himself at sea. Pretty much. Yeah.
No, that's a great song, man, and I want to know the reasoning behind it because I feel like Man of Nowhere, everywhere and nowhere. Where are you? I'm everywhere and nowhere. Man of Nowhere. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. So that's my favorite song on the project, actually. And it just came from me feeling like I was just a man of nowhere. Like I was always going somewhere and just feeling like no one understands me, Like through Euphoria really was like a project to get all of those messages and feelings that I've had throughout those 4 years from Diamond Life into music. And then also in this present moment, in the present moment I made the project, those emotions as well. So I just felt like throughout those 4 years, I was just a man of nowhere because I lost so many acquaintances and friends and shit. And, my ex and just a lot of shit. And I was just like, I'm just going to make a song about this shit and make it sounding like some 2021 shit,
I loved it, man. I really did. Honestly, I want to say with all the distortions, I don't know, do you produce all your music? I mean, I know you work with other people as well, right?
Yeah. So Euphoria, pretty much, I made everything with my boy Clip. Shout out to Clip for real, because he's a genius. Like, yeah, he's from South Africa, and we produced that whole project in like a week,
Yeah.
And he's a goat. So. But I produce everything myself and with him and just other people.
So with the mix and mastering of that song, I want to just say, like, I love the distortion.
You don't mind if I smoke this?
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay.
What I really enjoyed about it the most was all the distortion, and it honestly made me think about the Beatles. I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Oh, shit.
Like as far as all the distortions that you hear in the background, I wrote that note this morning because I was listening to it again, and I saved it on my playlist. I'm like, I really do enjoy Man of Nowhere. I really do. That's what I want to say about that track. Distortion, the production of it behind, like, that's very cool. It's extremely cool. They even think that your mind went there to do all those like layers on layers on layers and all the breakdowns. It's fucking cool. It's awesome. I love it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And the next track I want to talk about is 4 for 4. You mentioned that it was like, what happened to you within those 4 years. And honestly, when I look at that album and I look at most of your music, I feel like it's a journal of a person, like of your life at that time, But this one is a journal within the 4 years that you have been off, that you've gone, I got your identity, figured out yourself. And 4 for 4 was more of an uplifting song just because of the thesis of the song title, being
an angel number, yeah.
Exactly. And you said that, you're very spiritual, and for you to have 4 for 4, it feels like you're being guided by your angels onto the right path.
Word.
And I feel like you do talk about that in that song as well. Like a literal message, like, nah, I'm going the right way. So I thought that one was really, really good as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was a very, very emotional song for me. Yeah, it was. That was a very powerful song because I really did try to like make my vulnerability as transparent as possible on that one song, And I appreciate you saying that. It was like a really good song because I was so like, man, I was so what's it called? Not embarrassed, but I just didn't know how it would transpose with like people though. I just felt like people would just be like, oh, this nigga's like just talking about stupid shit. Like he's just mad sad, But then like I had people actually listen with it, like resonate with it, and they were like, whoa, like this shit is crazy. So
it's the wonderful thing about music, right? Is because like although you're putting it out and you're from your perspective, you don't know if someone's gonna be able to relate to that as well.
Yeah.
And there's always someone who can relate to you.
That's true.
You never alone.
I always forget that.
Yeah.
I always forget that.
I think we all do every now and then.
Yeah.
When you feel
and art's subjective, so it's like people are always gonna feel different about it. So just that's what I'm learning more now, is like not taking anything personally at all, like especially with my art and stuff. So yeah, thank you again though.
Of course, yeah. And then so the last song was the outro, okay, and the outro was an 8-minute song, okay, and I want to say that you captivated me. Okay, you captivated me, and this is why I say that you're brilliant, because for you to have all these instruments, can I be honest with you? We have outro right here, ready? We have a beautiful piano, beautiful violin, beautiful guitar, tempo, all the instruments. You're asking everyone to lend your ear for a song and beauty of just instruments for about 8 minutes, and then you go, like, not about 8 minutes, but about 4 or 5 minutes, and then you go in, you chime in and you say your thing. And I'm like, yo, this is really, really good. This is really, really good. So I'm like, yo, this guy's a really talented producer, So talk to me about the outro. Was it named outro or was it named Euphoria? I didn't write that down.
Yeah, so the outro is like the title track. It's Euphoria.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that song, I can listen to that every day. Like, if I'm trying to go to sleep, I'll put that shit on and it'll help me fall asleep. It's like one of those YouTube videos you fucking like find rain and thunder and to help you fall asleep. It's just weird because it's like I listen to that song and I feel like I never made that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I did that. Do you know
Such
what
a
I mean?
beautiful collage of all these instruments, bro, and it's like it really built up too.
Thank you. It was pretty much at first I sampled this artist named Gianni Marchetti. He's like a Italian artist from like one of these the movie soundtrack artists. You know what I mean? Like, it makes just like Hans Zimmer, pretty much.
Okay.
The Hans Zimmer of the 70s. And he made like a lot of Italian movie soundtracks. And I was going through his catalog and I was like, yo, like, this song is fucking dope. Like, it's so different. And then I just was like, I gotta reproduce this shit. I gotta do it. And I have to use this for the project. And then I just reproduced it. I kept the vocals from his actual song, and then I did the merge where I was actually like rap singing. Yeah. And me and Clip actually reproduced that. We sampled what I reproduced and then Clip threw on the drums, and it was gold from there. You know what I mean?
What was the name of this composer?
Gianni Marchetti.
Oh, I go into like Italian composing.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. In the 70s, they use like so many different instruments.
Yo, it was the fact that they're just like, that was where I've really understood where analog, like the difference from analog and electronic, like DAWs that we use now. I saw the significance of analog. I was just like, whoa. Like, I used to watch the movies too. Like, I would watch the Italian movies, and it was just like weird ass scenes and shit, but with fucking beautiful ass music. It was like, how the hell do they do this? Like,
and they use like unique sounds.
Yeah.
So they sample that.
It was like a crazy,
cool.
it's like a crazy Moog synthesizer, and then they would put like harps with it or something. It was like, who comes up with these duos? You know what I mean? It's
geniuses.
It's just genius in my opinion. Yeah.
I remember listening to, I can't remember what song it was, but there's one song in the beginning, I swear I hear a piano, and it really reminds me of, that movie Up?
Oh, yeah, I love
Up. That piano symphony? Dun, 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 dun. I feel like I hear a little bit of that in one of the songs, and I don't know if it was Euphoria. It's possible that it was Euphoria, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to listen to all the songs again, but I really did enjoy that album. That album was like a masterpiece. You got that represented on your hand. Euphoria is the brand, okay?
Definitely,
So then after Euphoria, we have Forever.
Yeah.
The Forever Project. They have Forever Project Part 1, though, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, shit, there's going to be a Part 2.
Yes.
But let's talk about Part 1 first.
Okay.
So like I said, I like to think of when I was listening to your music, I felt like it was very, like, I was a journal into your life, right? And, like, just with the names of the songs, the song titles, it kind of felt like it was a movie and a story being told again. I've listened to your songs from 2017 to 2021. You mentioned that sometimes that you were in some places, some really dark places, that you wanted to get out of. And then, you open up your album Forever Part 1 with a song titled No More Pain.
Yes.
No more pain. And I'm like, oh, this is great. So this must mean that life is getting better, right?
And then you hear that shit and you're like, oh. Oh, shit, yeah. Yeah, that, the first half of that song, it was just like a duality track, like I wanted to show people, because Euphoria was pretty much like the outro Euphoria, it was me finally transcending away from the darkness. You know what I mean? Like, I was finally seeing the light and like showing everybody, I know who I am now. Like, I'm not that darkness shit, like I'm gone from that, But then I wanted to kind of contradict it and be like, all right, no more pain. Yes, I don't feel any more pain. but then it was like sadness
Yeah.
again. You know what I mean? But then like the second half with the trumpets, like that sample. I love that sample. It's man, I forgot like the song, but it was from an old like it's like the stylistics or something. But we just sampled the trumpets, and it just sounded like some victory. It was
Yes,
you know
you
what I
already
mean?
said
Like-
it, bro. I got the same. It's cool that you're explaining that, and that's where you were going for it. Because when I listened to it, I'm like, no more pain. He's happy. You hear trumpets, triumph.
Yeah, dun 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 dun. Like it's just, I was just like, yeah, this is
On brand.
yeah, exactly.
Very on brand, bro. I got it. So no, I did enjoy No More Pain, and I'm like, all right, well, this guy is developing into the beautiful little butterfly, right?
yeah. That's what it was. It was forever. It was like the butterfly. Like I was.
You were in a cocoon.
I was in a cocoon for 4 years, and it was just like, okay, Euphoria is the butterfly coming out, and then the wing showing was forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's a great way to put it together. You know, I think that song you actually said, music is your medicine. Music help you get through the tough times in the years.
Word.
You know,
Yep.
so.
Exactly. That was the excerpt. Yeah. That's
Yeah, that was an expert. Yeah, let me talk to you real quick. Let me just, let you know that, this is, and that's what I'm talking about, bro, because, like, you were speaking from the heart, and someone heard that, and they were like, yep, I needed to hear that today.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that today. So
That's
it's
true.
great that you add stuff like that to make it more personal to people.
Thank you.
Now, the one song that fucking goes hard, bro, goes hard. Paganini or Nini?
Paganini.
Paganini, bro. Paganini. All right, hold on, guys. hold on. Yo, Mike, Paganini, bro. This shit is crazy.
Yo,
okay?
I know Mike would actually know about this. Yeah, since you said that you researched about like Italian artists and stuff. Like Niccolo Paganini's one of the best violinists in the humanity, bro. Like if you haven't heard any of his stuff, I sampled number 24 Caprice. Just listen to that shit, bro. He does like 7 switch ups of
It's freaking
violence.
crazy.
Like it's
So Paganini, right? I'm like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what's Paganini? I really fuck with this song. This shit's fire. They say it, but I still don't know what it means. So okay,
thank goodness.
Messi scored last minute.
Shout out to
breaking
Messi.
news.
Shout out to Messi.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So excuse me, Paganini, right? Paganini. So I'm over here and I'm like, what's a Paganini? I never heard of this. What is this, right? And this song, when you listen to the song, people, please go check out my boy Fame, The Fame on Spotify and Apple, right? The Fame?
Everything, yeah.
On everything, The Fame. Go check him out and check out
Thank
this
you.
song called Paganini. Because the whole instrumental, and this is what I'm talking about, with brilliancy, with the guy that is an artist, a producer as well, you sampled a violin. The violin goes hard as fuck throughout the whole song. You don't know what a Paganini is. You go on Google, you look up what the hell Paganini is. I'm expecting to see an item. I find a fucking person who's a violinist who's like top of the class. So I'm being dead ass. I was sitting on my couch this morning over there when I found that out. Okay.
Oh, shit.
And when I saw that shit, my eyes got like watery because I was like, oh shit, that is overwhelming.
Thank you.
I was not expecting that. So that song is like crazy. It's cold. I think it's cold. And let me ask you, that doesn't sound like you.
Nah, it's not me.
It's Summer Night, isn't it?
Summer Night, my boy.
All right,
My
Summer
boy
Night.
Elijah. That's my brother. I've known him for almost 20 years, man. That's my dog. And he murdered it. Like we
Dirty.
dirty. Like it was just dirty. I was like, yo, like I was in Miami when he sent me the freaking finished product, bro. And I mixed it. So the story behind this song is fucking nuts because I put the project out on like through distribution and stuff. And Elijah heard it. Well, Summer Night heard it. And he was like, yo, like my vocals sound very drowny. And I was like, I knew why. Because I put a spreader on it that made it sound trash. so I was like, all right, I understand, bro. Like, I'm in Miami to work. I'm going to finish this shit, make it perfect before I put it out, actually. So I deleted it off of distribution, like Spotify, all this shit. I remixed that bitch in like 2 hours and sent it to him. And he was like, yo, cold. Like, put that shit out now.
Cold.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, bet. Now this shit sounded perfect. Yeah, this guy, it was his first recorded fucking rap. And he just killed it. I was like, yo, first of all, I'm fucking proud of you. Second of all, you almost better than me. You're better than me, actually. Your fucking verse was talking about yourself, your family. It was just nuts. And then over the instrumental too, it's just like,
There was a time where he chopped it up, and that shit was fucking filthy.
yeah.
Like, he was just chopping it up. He was on the bass with it, just like the bass would hit, he'd fill in a blank. Bass would hit, he'd fill in a blank.
It was just like he hit those pockets. It felt like him. I would say the best. He was like Biggie on a pocket, in my opinion. Like with those pockets, I feel like the best rapper with those pockets was Biggie. Like he knew, like he just knew what spaces to take his breath. You know what I mean? Like, and he did that shit, and I was like, yo.
That's very cool, man. I do really enjoy that track, and Summer Night is someone who I have to talk to actually this week.
Fucking amazing. He was gonna come, but he couldn't make it out. That was who I told you was gonna come with me.
Yeah,
him and Emmy.
Oh, that would have been lovely.
Yeah,
I had a podcast with Emmy.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I mean, Lust Beauty,
fire.
baby. Lust Beauty. Hey.
Yo, shout out to Lust Beauty. Shout out to Emmy Love, man. Shout out to DJ Summer Night. Like for real, if you need a DJ, contact my boy.
Yes, they are doing fantastic, and I'm planning on getting him on this podcast, so he will definitely get his spotlight, and we're gonna tap in.
Definitely,
Summer Night.
That's awesome.
So, one final track, is your outro for Forever Part 1. Okay, it's called Free, just free, right? And I like the sample, the I'm free, and I'm free. Yeah, and then that you just keep playing that loop, and then the bass drops, and you intentionally made the. I don't know if you intentionally did this, but you fill in the blanks in your head with I'm falling, and it's because the melody is that melody, the pitch, So I really enjoyed that, and I'm like, all right, he's free. He's free. This is his outro. He's free. He's forever free.
Yeah.
What are you free of?
Free of pain, free of emotional distress, free of not knowing who I am, free of people that take advantage of me, people that don't have the best outlook for myself and don't see my goals. Like, I'm just free of all the negativity in my life. Like, that was the song that was just like, I'm here and I'm free and I'm a butterfly now. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a butterfly flying for years. Like, that shit that you see that monarch butterflies die in, like, a year or two, nah, I'm here for 20. You know what I mean? Like, that was the shit. Like, Free was definitely a song that I just had to fucking, like, tell everybody that I'm here.
You're free, and I do enjoy that song. I really do, and it's like, once again, guys, it's like a chapter. It's a story. It's a book. He's leaving Forever Part 1 free, so then you got to sit there and wonder what Forever Part 2 brings. But my favorite bar from that song, Forever 1, bro, was, ready? I got dreams of showing out, bringing the foreign out, shifting the race mode, and the horses are roaring now. I was like, that's crazy. Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
Very Wiz Khalifa vibe with that part. Just how you put it together. I was like,
that's crazy. I used to listen to Wiz, religiously when I was younger. So I feel like his I haven't really listened to him in a while, but his influences are always stuck with me because he was really like one of those artists that helped me start really rapping and like trying to perfect my shit. I used to watch his day-to-days like all the time. Like, it was crazy. So I appreciate you saying that.
Hey, no doubt, bro. Like I said, that bar is filthy. I'm going to say it one more time. I got dreams of showing out, bringing the foreign out, shifting in race mode, and the horses are roaring out. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
The horses are roaring out. Got the time I pray for, and no one's controlling now. Yeah, I'm just showing out. Yeah, I'm just showing out. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm flexing. I'm free.
Yeah, like I'm free now.
It's awesome, man. Hooray, hooray. I'm free. It's very powerful. That's what I have written here, man. That's what I have written here. So let's talk about, if you can.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about Forever Part 2.
Oh, man.
Or is it more than just one part? Or is it more than just two parts? Excuse me.
So the clarity with this, I wanted to put Forever Part 1 and Forever Part 2 together as one album. So what I'm doing right now is just like perfecting Forever Part 2. It's pretty much done. I just have to like mix and master everything. And then with Forever Part 1, I have to add like new drums to like some songs and then like remaster some stuff. And then I'm going to just put it all together with both, and it's just gonna be like a crazy experience. It really is. It's like it's taking that that evolution and making it into like, damn, this dude has been like, people that have listened to me for a while and the new people that just started listening to me will see that I'm not underground anymore. Like this is like quality of somebody that's big, you know what I mean? And I'm just starting. I'm just getting started. You know
It
what I
is
mean?
great quality, dude. It
Thank
really
you.
is. It does sound like, I don't know where you record. Do you record at home?
Yeah, I have a home studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So couldn't tell. You'd be like, oh shit, this guy must be working in a multimillionaire, studio, because
Nah, don't be lying.
no, I'm
bro.
being honest, bro. Because of the no, listen, bro.
That's
you
crazy.
listen to the quality of some songs. Bro, as being a podcaster, you listen to some shitty songs. Sorry, that's what it is, bro. You listen to some really unfinished projects, and you're like, yo, damn, he sounded like he just recorded this shit in the car and he was drowning, you know?
Oh, shit.
But that's what it is, and
Yeah, it's truthful.
I appreciate, a lot of people. Like, I had some people try to send me like some things, right? And I'm like, yo, if it ain't a finished product, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Sorry, like
I
I don't want it.
understand that
And
too.
a finished high quality is obviously more preferred than a finished low quality. It's not that I'm not gonna appreciate you because you have a low quality one. It just means that you got a ways to go.
Yeah.
For you to be doing it. You told me in the past that you've been producing for how many years now? Like, you were producing before you were even an artist, correct?
Yeah, I've been producing for like 10 years. I've been producing actually since I've been going to school, which was 2011. So I graduated 2014, and I was producing after I finished all my assignments because I was going for, music business and shit. So they gave me like they gave me a MacBook, a keyboard, and and Pro Tools. Yeah. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just produce on GarageBand. And I bought Logic with my own money from my first job while I was doing with school, and boom, finished my fucking shit for my professor, and all right, I'm gonna produce and utilize the shit that the school gave me for free.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
as you should. And that's what I'm saying, though. It took you 10 years.
To get to this. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very true.
Like, to accept your roses, buddy. Accept them. Just accept the roses, please.
Yeah. It's hard for me, but I really do appreciate it. I'm just like, I'm one of those weird people. Like, you ever heard those people that don't like getting gifts?
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I'm like, oh, thanks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm mad, like, weird with that shit. But I really do appreciate, like, both of y'all having me on here and, like, you giving me my flowers, because I really do put a lot of work in this shit, and it's very emotional and soulful. Like, it's very emotionally draining, too. You know what I mean? Like, I do try to put all of this shit that's here, that's not the flesh, like the spirit that we got, into this shit. And it's a lot of energy, so I appreciate that.
Of course, man. And I can see you're very passionate about everything that you do. You're on Instagram Live often. That's actually where we kind of had this conversation as to how you're going to get on the podcast. That I wanted to speak to you. Nezo once again shouted that I should speak to you, because you're just you're a knowledgeable man, and you're good at what you do, So accept your roses. I accept the humility and you just being humble. That's completely okay, because not everyone wants to. You said, like, I kind of want the fame, but at the same time, I don't want to be famous.
Yeah,
I feel the same way sometimes. Like, maybe I just want to go to the store and be all right. And it's kind of nerve-wracking that maybe one day I'll go to the store and people are going to want to just take photos with me. I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to get milk and eggs.
Exactly. I'm just trying to make some, like, fucking cake. I'm going to get some cake batter at the grocery store, and then I can't even do that shit because I got 20 people just trying to take a photo of me, or you know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, why artists do it.
The mic up a little.
Oh, I apologize. I understand why, like, artists do that, but it's just it's draining, And I don't want to be famous either, because I just know what really goes into that shit, and it's not really. It doesn't go with my values. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Hey, so with that being said, Fame, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping up this podcast. We got Tea Time. Stay tuned after. If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify or Google, wherever it may be, tap into YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, tune in for Tea Time with my boy Fame here. We're going to get after that. But before we get into the tea time, I like to give the floor to my guests. Any supportive messages that you want to leave for the people, anything that we can look forward to, your social media, so they can find you. The floor is yours, man. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, you can find me on everything, Twitter, IG, TikTok under I Am the Fame 93 or I Am the Fame, just all one word. And Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, everything. It's just under the Fame. But what I wanted to tell people is just like always just believe in yourself, Like there's always going to be people that believe in you and, people that won't believe in you, that love you and say that they love you. Just do your own thing, Like take some time to be to yourself. Like you don't have to always seek attention from people. You don't have to always, go out and have good times. The world that we living in right now is best for us to really pay attention to what we're doing. Pay attention to all your moves, the moves that you make on a daily basis. We in a spiritual warfare right now. You know what I mean? Like things are coming for us and we just got to stay positive. We got to stay positive and show everyone love, our true humility, vulnerability, and like just tell everybody what it is. You know what I mean? Don't be scared. Don't be scared of anything, really. Like if anybody comes to you, like even at a job, 9 to 5, don't be scared to tell your manager some shit that you actually feel, bro. Because a true manager of a business, a true CEO of a business, honestly, will get you. That's when you know that that's not a real fucking person that knows how to do their job. You know what I mean? So just anything that you walk around this world with confidence, humility, and knowing who you are and loving yourself and loving everything around you, for real. Don't take anything lightheartedly. Take everything wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? So that's all I got to say.
All right, man. Hey, I love that, man. That was well said.
Thank you.
Very positive message for the people, and I think it's a true inspiration to think that you may have been in a negative place, and now you're just trying to inspire and bring peace among people and happiness and positive messages.
Definitely.
Through expression of your music. Like I said, everyone really check out your music. Really check out the Fame. And I'm gonna just let you know this: you might need to listen to it more than once. Okay,
Yes.
Like seriously, don't just go through it the first time and be like, "Yo, this ain't for me." Okay, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be honest with everyone. I listened to the album many times. I listened to those 3 albums many times, and every single time through, I learned something new, or I enjoyed a song more than I did the last time.
Appreciate that.
But there were hitters the first time around. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like you said, music is very subjective. So if you don't like his music, like him as a person, because this guy's one hell of a dude here. Very, very wholesome man. So
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the Middleman Podcast. Thank you everyone for watching. Stick around for Tea Time, not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. This is Kevin Martinez, also known as the Man in the Middle, signing out. Peace.